For Leroy Hyatt and Bob Clark, a perfect day is a day spent fishing on the Lochsa River. At least once every summer, the two fishermen get together for some good humor and hopefully some good fishing. We join these two friends just as they finish breakfast, ready to test their skills at catching Idaho's native West Slope cutthroat.
You got to kind of respect your elders just a little bit there, Leroy.
Well, I do a little.
Might. Yeah, you get retired, Leroy, then every day is week there. Every day is a weekend, you know.
Retired. Yes, I
yeah,
do.
boy, I'm really enjoying this. I don't have to worry about going to work tomorrow or nothing like you do.
Yeah, I know. You don't even set your alarm clock anymore, I'll bet, do you?
No, matter of fact, I don't. All I got to do is worry about when I'm going fishing next.
I see.
Well, like I say, there's lots of things to do when you go fly fishing besides just catch fish.
That's true. That's
like
true.
tell a few lies. No, fly fishermen don't tell lies. They just stretch the truth a little bit.
Fly fishing is much more than a weekend sport for these two. Their time on and off the river revolves around fishing. Bob Clark made the bamboo rods they are using today. Leroy Hyatt taught Bob how to tie flies.
Where are you going?
In the water.
Good idea. I'm glad you thought of that. I'll go down here.
Where are you going?
I'll go down here and try it.
All right.
The Lochsa is one of their favorite places to fish. It's a beautiful river and a good place to catch West Slope cutthroat.
The true West Slope, of which it's here on the Lochsa and on Kelly Creek, will migrate about 75 miles one way each year. They'll go to where the feed and water temperature are more conducive to what they need at that time of year. Fish have to take a food, if it looks natural to them at all, they have to take it. Otherwise, they may not see another meal for a while, especially as sporadic as the hatches have been this year. So they are opportunistic. And if it looks like it's something alive, something somewhat natural, they'll take it. Normally, famous last words.
Well, by golly, that was the third time in a row that guy come up there at that. He's not going to do her again. Must got stung that time.
Fish on! This small little cutthroat. Pretty little fish. When you can take a fly you've tied yourself and fool the fish, that's what it's all about. As clear as the water is and as low as it is, the fish may be a little spooky. So I lengthened and lightened the leader.
Hey, Leroy, give me that can of worms you got, will you?
Okay. It'll cost you.
Why do I catch and release? Well, I think the fish are awfully beautiful, and the fish are getting quite scarce. And I really don't like to kill these fish. Whether I'm fishing in the catch and release area like we are now, or whether we're down below in the catch and keep area.
Well, I popped off my last orange stimulator. Boy, I turned over a big fish. He came up 3 times.
Leroy always brings a good supply of flies, but sometimes the promise of a big fish pushes him to improvise. Leroy first learned to tie flies as a young boy. 25 years later, his passion and expertise has evolved into the television show Fly Tying, the Angler's Art.
Well, let's get started. Show us the Griffith's gnat.
Okay, the Griffith gnat. If you can tie your shoes, you can tie flies. I'm serious. I have taught loggers to tie flies that have a little finger and a thumb. And they can still tie all the same knots. And it makes it float very well.
Oh, yeah.
The sport's been good to me. If I can give something back to the sport by showing somebody how to tie a fly on TV, so be it.
Now that's a stimulator, Leroy?
Mm-hmm. That's a stimulator. You know, it could imitate a lot of things. It could imitate a hopper. It's got a lot of good color. It could imitate a stonefly. And you know what? I haven't seen a whole lot of stonefly huss yet today.
Well, I've seen a few down here.
Yeah.
Once again, Leroy and Bob cast their lines to try and lure that big cutthroat out with their handmade bamboo rods and flies.
Well, Leroy, this has been a good day,
It has been a
even
good
if we
day.
haven't caught a lot of fish.
Well, we've had fun trying.
Oh, you bet we have.
I mean, you've had the pleasure of my company. What else could you ask for?
Well, yeah. Right there, it ought to be.
What do you got on?
I got on a red humpy.
Looks like a goat exploded.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate your sympathy.
Or you've been digging in your wife's vacuum cleaner, and maybe that's what you've been.
Put on that stimulator and show me something here, Leroy.
Oh, I don't know how to tie the knot.